The defining quality of a truly magnetic person has almost nothing to do with what they say. It's an invisible force, a kind of gravity that makes you feel heard, seen, and completely captivated, even in total silence. By the end of this, you'll understand the precise neurological switch that creates this state of presence. And you'll see how the very things you do to seem more confident are actively destroying it every single day. We've been taught to chase the wrong thing. We see someone hold a room, witty and articulate, and we call it charisma. So we practice clever stories. We work on our eye contact and our posture. We try to add layers of performance, hoping to build a more interesting version of ourselves. The problem is a misdirection of effort. Presence is a subtractive process. It is the raw, focused attention that's left over when the performance stops. Imagine your attention is a spotlight. For most of us, that spotlight is pointed inward. It's constantly scanning. How do I look? Was that a stupid thing to say? What should I say next to sound smart? This internal self-monitoring is running all the time, consuming 80% of your mental bandwidth. What's left for the person in front of you is a weak, flickering 20% beam. They can feel the deficit. They sense you're only partially there, because you are. A person with true presence has flipped the spotlight around. 100% of their attention is flowing outward, illuminating the person they're with. It's a feeling of being totally bathed in someone's awareness. It's intoxicating, and it is incredibly rare. This intense outward focus is what creates the feeling of connection. It's why you can have a 5-minute conversation with a stranger and feel more connected than you do with a colleague you've known for years. The content of the conversation is secondary. The real communication is the undivided attention itself. So the question becomes simple. How do you flip the spotlight? The obvious answer is to just try harder to force your attention outward. But you've tried that, it creates a new layer of self-monitoring. Am I focusing outward correctly? Is this working? The effort becomes another internal distraction. The solution is more mechanical. It requires understanding what's pulling your focus inward in the first place. That inward pull is a survival mechanism. Your brain is running a constant, low-grade social threat assessment. The perceived threat is judgment, embarrassment, or rejection. So it scans your own behavior for any flaw that might trigger that rejection. It's a deeply ingrained loop. You worry about being judged, which makes you self-conscious. This self-consciousness makes your behavior stilted and awkward, which then gives you more behavior to judge. The cycle feeds itself. You're trying to listen to someone through the thick, soundproof glass of your own internal courtroom. Breaking this loop requires a counterintuitive trick. Instead of trying to manage the thoughts, you hijack the senses. The next time you're in a conversation and you feel your mind drifting inward, shift your focus to the purely physical sensory details of the other person. Listen to the music of their voice, its pitch and rhythm separate from the words. Notice the specific color of their eyes. Watch the way their hands move when they make a point. This is a subtle act of mental sabotage. Your brain has limited processing power. By flooding your sensory channels with external data, you starve the self-monitoring loop of the fuel it needs to run. It doesn't have the bandwidth to worry about how you're coming across when it's busy processing the exact shade of blue in someone's iris. This isn't about staring intensely, it's a soft, curious gaze. It is listening with your eyes. Over time, this practice rewires your default setting. The spotlight begins to stay pointed outward naturally. But this is for a one-on-one interaction. What happens when you're the one who is the center of attention? What is presence when you're speaking to a group? The pressure intensifies. The internal courtroom gets louder. Every eye in the room feels like a juror. The temptation is to retreat into your head, to recite your memorized script, to protect yourself with a wall of perfect preparation. But the audience feels this instantly. They feel the distance. They can tell you're talking at them, broadcasting from a safe location inside your own mind. The mechanism for group presence is a fractal version of the one-on-one technique. You cannot be present with a crowd. The human brain is incapable of it. You can only be present with a single person at a time. The secret to commanding a room is to turn that room into a series of individual conversations. Pick one person, find a friendly face in the second row, deliver one full sentence, one complete thought directly to them. Look them in the eye as you speak. For that small moment, the room disappears. It's just you and that person. Then, move your eyes to someone else in a different part of the room, a person by the window. Deliver your next full thought to them, then another, and another. The experience for the audience is magnetic. Each person feels that at any moment, the beam of your full attention might land on them. It keeps them engaged. And for the people you do connect with, the feeling is profound. They feel personally addressed as if you're speaking directly to them. A great speaker turns a crowd of 1,000 into 500 conversations of 2. From the outside, it looks like you're scanning the room, but you are methodically connecting one human at a time. This technique, just like the sensory hijack, forces your attention outward. You cannot be locked inside your head reciting a script if you are actively trying to connect with the person in front of you. The external task overrides the internal anxiety. But even this is still a technique. It's a powerful tool, but it's treating the symptom. The root cause of the inward-pointing spotlight, the core of all social anxiety, goes one level deeper. The self-monitoring, the fear of judgment, the constant internal management, all of it comes from one core belief: that the raw, unfiltered version of you is insufficient. It's the belief that you must be curated, edited, and presented carefully, or you will be rejected. This belief is the engine of your internal courtroom. As long as that engine is running, you will always need a portion of your attention to manage the performance. You will never be fully present. The final layer of this work is the cultivation of a fundamental self-trust. It's a quiet internal state of knowing that you are enough as you are in this moment. There is nothing to prove, there is nothing to hide. This is the hardest work. It's a state of being, not an action. It is earned. It's earned by keeping the promises you make to yourself. It's earned by navigating failure and realizing you survived. It's built by doing things that are difficult and proving to yourself that you can. Each experience of competence, each moment of resilience, dismantles a piece of that old belief that you are insufficient. Slowly, the internal judge runs out of evidence for the prosecution. The courtroom grows quiet, and all the attentional energy that was tied up in that lifelong trial is liberated. It has nowhere else to go, so it flows outward. This is the state of true presence. It's the resonance of a quiet mind. It feels like power to other people, but it's actually a state of peace. People gravitate toward it because it's a relief to be around someone who is not at war with themselves. Their quiet mind gives yours permission to be quiet too. The person with presence isn't trying to get anything from you. They don't need your approval or validation because they are generating their own from within. This frees them to simply give their attention. And this is the most generous gift you can offer another human being. Presence, in the end, is not a strategy for social success. It's the natural side effect of a well-tended inner world. You don't learn it, you uncover it. It's the person you are when you finally stop trying to be someone else. You stop broadcasting and you start receiving, and in that quiet, receptive state, you become a mirror. People see the best version of themselves reflected in your attention. They feel interesting, clever, and seen. They leave the conversation feeling better about themselves, and they will attribute that feeling to you. The goal is not to be noticed by everyone. It's to be fully present with the one person who matters in that moment, whether that's a business partner, a barista, or yourself. Presence is a form of deep respect. It is the quietest, most powerful signal you can send. And this same liberation of attention explains why the most productive people are masters of boredom, which is a different kind of